Good morning, evening, night, whatever time of day it is for you, and welcome to this wonderful free enterprise match we have here. My name is Gambit017. I will be your cozy late night host alongside Oscar424 for this wonderful 2-2 match between frankiebones and xPankraz. How are you tonight, Oscar?
I have drank enough caffeine for both of us. Hi, everybody!
That's good, because I don't think I can keep the calm, chill voice, because this is just a hype match. It's a 2-2 match. Every 2-2 match is hype right now.
Right? And, well, I mean, it's definitely hype, but it's also kind of terrifying for these two runners because, yeah, whoever loses this one is mathematically eliminated from the tournament. And, well, I don't think they want to be that, personally.
I know I wouldn't want to be in their shoes tonight, but we have frankiebones and xPankraz both sitting at 2-2. Some pretty good objectives. We need to find a Palom, need to find a Cecil. So basically get Quake Kid, get Burr. And we start with the best boy in the whole entire game, don't we?
I mean, come on. We don't care about Quack Kid, and we don't care about buying 7.8 or 7.9 sirens. We have Best Boy. And you can't have a good run without a good Best Boy. So yeah, it's an Edward start.
So what do you want as a starting key item? Because I think I want the spoon. Just let Edward go Burr from the start.
I you know, if we need to wake up people like that, throw a spoon out there to our runners, because they will wake up whether they want to or not. Also, adjust your headphone volume accordingly. But yeah, spoon would be fantastic. If not the spoon, though, I would like to see a hook, because I always love a very heckin' rude hook route.
So I think in my opinion, the thing that I would least like to see is the magma key, because that just opens up everything on the world all at once, and that's panic mode from the word go.
I mean, panic mode is always a fun kind of mode to watch. It's not a fun mode to be in, but we don't have to worry about running this gambit. We can just watch everybody else panic. Our wonderful Night Mom restreamer Scala Kitty in chat is also putting out a darkness crystal start, which is always funny. You want to talk about panic and anxiety? Throw a darkness crystal at the runners right away, see what happens.
Just go up, find King Queen Evelyn, and you're good to go. But speaking of, yes, Scala Kitty is doing our restreaming for us, being our wonderful Night Mom, and we have Xenocat823543 doing our tracking tonight. So thank you to them for helping us put on this show. Can't wait to see where these runners take us.
I swear one of these days I will find out what those numbers mean in Xenocat's name. Asking the real questions here at, for me, 11:44 in the evening. So not quite tomorrow, but for all of you time travelers in the future, find out and let us know in the past, if you would.
If this one goes into tomorrow for me, then, well, we've had the barn burner on our hands. So I'm good with that, though.
Yeah, if it goes to when it's tomorrow in your time, you'll probably be carrying this commentary duo on your own back, and you will hear me snoring. Because I only have so much caffeine for the both of us, and eventually I will crash. And that will be sad.
It's not snoring, it's dreaming that you're a train. And actually, I actually have a shirt that says that, which is quite hilarious.
I love it. As my parents would say when I'd comment on their snoring, they're just breathing loudly. Like, I know what breathing loudly sounds like. That ain't it.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Free Enterprise After Dark, where we talk about snoring. But our runners are getting underway as we see. Let's see who we get paired up with to start.
I hope it's a second Edward. It's not a second Edward.
Nope, that is a Yang. That is a form of Mylon. And,
okay, that's your fault, Gambit. That is no diggity right there.
That is absolutely no diggity at all. That is the magma key. That is, hey, you want to go underground? Go underground. Have some fun.
I definitely do not like the way you work it on that one. So yeah, underground access. Let's go.
So, in this position, do you go straight to the Fame Arch and check that freebie there?
First, I make sure my microphone is muted before I have some colorful words. But yeah, I would go to Fame Arch right away. Get that free item. See what bosses are awaiting us in the Fame Arch, and I'd actually start checking shops to see if we can find some sirens for future purchases.
xPankraz heading immediately over to Agart, dropping that magma key in the well. frankiebones taking a little bit more of a traditional start, going in Baron. That's a Sid being guarded by a Valvolus, a Stardust item, a Assassin Dagger, and a Life Staff from the pot there in Baron. That's actually a very nice pickup early on once we find a white mage.
Yeah, I was about to say that is a great stick for people that can wield sticks, and our characters cannot wield sticks. Okay, shout out to the fact that we have sunglasses Yang, because yes.
She is the best Yang.
He's blinded by Edward's brightness and happiness.
Yeah, frankiebones continuing the traditional play as a Blitz Baron goes up, heading straight towards Damsian. Pankraz is going to show us what's in the shop here at Agart. There's cabins and either ones. Both are pretty good pickups. Pankraz is going ahead picking up some of those cabins. That is Leg in the Waterfall. We're sorry, we're not having Leg tonight.
No, and if that was elements, you would see multiple sprites and not just the ruby one in that spot, correct?
Correct. Yeah, it would have been the Red Road Mylon showing up in that first spot on the left.
Ooh, I always forget. Ooh, speaking about good items, we've got a Silk Web, a Siren, something else that was really important that I just noticed and missed what it officially was, but some good things in Damsian today.
I'm glad you were watching that. I was looking at Pankraz, checking the shop there at Dwarf Castle. Only thing of note is elixirs. If you got some spare money lying around, which you probably won't because it's S-quarter, you can go pick up some elixirs.
That was a nice rune axe that he just picked up from a pot, though. So that's, again, once we have a character that might be able to, I don't know, use those items or that rune axe, that's going to be a fantastic thing. But right now, our two characters are looking at that going, yes, we acknowledge that that's a weapon, but no, I don't know how to use an axe.
Our tracker's going to keep pointing out samurai bow and samurai arrows in the weapon shop in Dwarf Castle. Pankraz picked up a bow and some arrows. Might be looking for Archer Edward to do some early damage.
And the thing is with Edward, he's surprisingly good with a bow and arrow. And yeah, those are some of the best ones. That was a very long word for the job dwarf that I can't read that fast at this late at night. But
photo engravers, I think, if I read that right.
Sure. I will acknowledge that that is a word. And yeah.
Well, that's an objective, but that's also ha ha ha.
That's oh, hide. No! Okay. So funny story about Edward, because Edward's useful, y'all. If Eddie would have hidden time, then Golbez's pet Shadow would be like, oh, there's only 2 characters, so I'm not going to eat any of you. And Edward would be like, psych, and come back in, and then nobody would have to die. Edward strats are a thing. Legitimately a thing.
So unfortunately, frankiebones does not do it. Yang is the one that goes down. That's probably not too bad here. Thankfully, if we can get a Starveil off, get the 50-50, should be able to get through this fight. Just got to make sure we get that 50-50.
Wonderful Rex Banner in chat saying, oh, but why Edward? You can let him die. I don't know, Mr. Only person that has done Eddie strats in this tournament. Why would you let Edward die?
In the meantime, does get the Starveil off, and Edward started with a dancing dagger. I just noticed. That's great. Yeah,
and worst comes to worst, Pankraz, I believe, picked one up in Talmud by the Job Dwarf, and Free March has some value though.
That's the adamant rock. That's half of objective number 2 right there.
And still no sirens in those shops, so we're running out of places those sirens can be really quick. I think it's pretty much just Evelyn and then the Moon shop?
That's correct. Evelyn and Moon are the only 2 places left that could possibly have sirens, or we might have a sirenless seed, which would actually favor Frankie a little bit for finding that single siren in the Damsian basement. Because all the looting that Pankraz is doing, I don't think we see him go down into that basement at all.
Yeah, that Damsian basement, very easily forgotten, as weird as it is. Sometimes runners won't get the hovercraft until they absolutely need the hovercraft. And when they do that, they're like, yeah, I don't need those chests. But shopping there early, or I should say looting there early, is a pretty good decision. What's another good decision is Pankraz is finding out what terror awaits.
Is
So we
it
have
Gauntlet or is it
Gauntlet. Da 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 da. I hope it's required.
Yeah, we totally don't want that required. All Gauntlet at Leviathan. That would be brilliant.
So, that being said, about that, I believe that's elements at Ashura. How is that for a boss?
Not necessarily too bad if you have the right setup for it. Right now, we don't have the right setup for it, but that's a very fast spot, but not necessarily too bad of a punchy spot. And the first form, the Mylon form of elements, all it does is punch. Nothing else. Just punch, punch, punch. You get at least a spellcaster, preferably a Fu, but get that Paladin to up to like Fire 2 at the very least. Buff him a few times and just start reflecting Fire 2s. That fight is not going to necessarily be an issue.
Oh yeah, no, I think it was, side note, I think it was photo engravers. Words are hard this late at night. But also, I'm kind of surprised by just the number of dancing daggers I've seen in this seed. I think we've picked up 2, if not 3, in addition to the one that Eddie is currently rocking. That's actually a really good dagger to get early on. It does if used as an item, mind you, does a decent amount of damage to bosses early.
So one thing to point out, Pankraz and frankiebones as well have found hourglasses in the Tomra shop. 5 hourglasses makes that Gauntlet of Leviathan free.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I never would have. I wouldn't have thought about that. But I'm also not intelligent, so that makes sense. Frankie, meanwhile, is putting that siren to good use, coffining up that egg, and giving our 3 wonderful characters a little bit of an influx of levels. So we do have. Looks like Palom does not have Quake, but has Virus. So I'm curious as to where Frankie is going to go with that.
Yeah, I believe that's going to be 1 level shy of Quake, unfortunately. But still, getting Virus already on Palom this early, that's going to go a long way for later game.
100% agreed. Meanwhile, Pankraz is doing the anti-PK of actually going and dealing with Antlion Cave, and we are dealing with a pair of guards. So that Dancing Dagger is going to do some work.
This is another one of those fights that those hourglasses would actually be very good for if this was a harder spot. The Baron guards do not have the boss bit, so you can toss an hourglass and they will just stop. They'll get their 1 cued punch off, and that's it. Yang instead saying, "Hey, guard, go to sleep."
It's always fun just saying, "Okay, guards, I know you like casting spells and punching us. How about we just do all that to you?" But yeah, that samurai bow, not. It's nice, but we have one at home already.
I bet Pankraz is a little bit mad he bought the samurai bow in Dwarf Castle now.
Well, I mean, as soon as you buy it, you have to find it in the next chest or 2, or in this case, a key item check, because logic.
Pankraz climbing Hobbs is going to see the Paladin up there, realize, hey, free objective. There's ha. We'll have to see if he gets Edward hidden in time, or if he's going to have to deal with 3-person, 1 person getting knocked down.
Also, I did just notice that in Feymarch there was some crystal armor, so we do have a quarter of the value of printed money available for our runners, which is always nice to have. But that's a dead word. I don't approve of the dead word. Oh, that's okay, Gambit. I will completely botch this description, but why is it that Pankraz cast Venom on himself?
Well, Golbez has this hold gas, and the way Final Fantasy IV works is each different status effect is in a hierarchy. Some things have a higher position on the hierarchy, some are lower. The poison status is higher up than the hold status. So if your entire party is poisoned, the hold won't actually take effect because, well, it says, hey, look, there's hold, but you're already poisoned, which is higher up. So hold doesn't do anything. Sorry.
I love it. And the best part about that is we might get the poison walk, which is unfortunate because the audio is not there. I don't blame you, but just know that it's there. Meanwhile, Frankie checked the blue robe, saw the hooligans, and said, I'm good, thanks. I'll come back to you later.
Yeah, the one downside is, of course, you get this a little bit slower fight because you got damaged by the poison, but the good news is all your spells are going to be reflected. Golbez is not going to be long for this mountain.
Case in point. Meanwhile, I'm immediately seeing the purple characters and immediately thinking of like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory with what's it like, Veruca or something? Veruca Salt?
I believe so. It's been a while.
The blueberry girl. She turns into a blueberry. Okay. Words are hard. That is a second piece of crystal armor. This is turning into printed money %. I'm okay with it. Oh, Violet Beauregard. That's it. I think I was thinking of like a musician or something because I get those confused. Oh, as the god voice has informed me, it's another character in the book. Thanks,
Like I said, it's been so long since I've seen it, I would have been useless. So.
I just have the Oompa Loompa song stuck in my head now.
I think we know what we want as a harp song today.
The Endless Staircase.
Meantime, at this point, both our runners converging back on Fabul. Not a bad strategy here. For Pankraz, you get the full heal, which means no more poison status. For frankiebones, you were just down in the Feymarch. You're at 1 HP because of all the damage tiles. You get the full heal. And there's another blue robe. That's the water hag.
This is one of those fights that can be free and it can be free adjacent. But it's also one that you don't want to see in an early spot like this. You want to see this somewhere where it makes a normally hard fight free-ish. So it's pretty straightforward. 3 blocks to the water hag, and the water hag will eventually go arg and disintegrate.
In the meantime, we have Edward using dancing daggers against water hag. Are we sure we're not watching a vanilla FF4 run?
Oh, Eddie! Don't aim the dancing daggers at yourself. Best boy. It is a sad day.
Yeah, Pankraz keeping the Edward down, probably thinking, right now I have no spoon. Spoon would be very nice because Edward can equip the spoon. That's a pass. So nice to see that, but not what we wanted. But without the spoon, Edward's not really that great for damage, so probably just keeping him around as an anchor.
Yeah, Edward can be a very good anchor. Like, there's a couple. Any starting level character is fantastic. Rydia, when you feel the need to bring her along, can also be a fantastic anchor with level 1 strats. Or level 1 stats. So I can see that. I know Frankie has not put Edward on the ground, so he is giving Eddie levels, which is terrifying when there's no spoon in play thus far, because that puts Eddie out on the chopping block. Well, to be fair, Eddie existing in a team puts Eddie on the chopping block.
Yeah. Sheila won only a crystal ring, which is a nice ring, just not going to be any progression. So we'll have to see where Pankraz decides to go from here. Same with Frankie. Once he picks up his crystal ring from Sheila. Looks like we've got Pankraz going up ordeals. And I do want to say welcome to those coming in from Rally Snipers raid. We appreciate you coming in for this late night match.
Hi. That's all I got. Hi.
To catch you up for speed, starting item was a magma key. Palin was up on Hobbs, guarded by Golbez, and other than that, yeah, we're caught up.
Yeah, that is 15 and a half minutes of a seed summary. But yeah, like I mentioned in chat, we know Cecil is somewhere in this seed, so going to ordeals, getting Cecil into that paladin status is a pretty good thing. Just like finding CPU in this first spot, CPU is a scripted fight. It's pretty easy, especially at these low levels. I mean, Remedy only doing 231 points of damage, which isn't much, so it should be a fairly quick, straightforward thing, unless they YOLO it, at which point, have fun.
Did Palom's, did Frankie's Palom learn Quake yet? Because if Palom has Quake for Frankie, this will make this fight just super simple.
If Frankie takes these 2 fights Baron in, then the answer is yes. Frankie will know Quake before he goes and deals with CPU. But Val has... Okay. What was that? What was that dagger? That was... Did you see that dagger? It was there.
That was the dagger that gets stuck. It's a visual glitch, and it's so hilarious. But I'm kind of agreeing with chat. This is not a spot you can really hit Val while she is spinning.
Yeah, the bugle mode tends to be a little cheeky in, well, most spots. So, yeah, I don't blame Frankie for leaving out of that fight and going to find a berth elsewhere. The fact that he's checking Demist Cave makes me think he might be looking for a cheeky Demist, which I don't blame him.
Other than that, just a little bit of extra levels. That's the Canadian Nope Noodle. We're happy to see him there.
No fighting Ogo today. That's sad.
And FF4FE unintentionally having a great strat for this back of ordeals. That's Plague. Edward's already on the ground. Just toss a quick life potion, you're fine.
That being said, holy heck, those points are going down so fast. Did you just see that?
What are you talking about? It was still on 10.
It was 10, and then I blinked, and Palom was down. That would, but how fast is Fang? Look at that.
Yeah, back attack Plague is a very, very fast spot. It's a very, very rude spot, and you can let it get away from you very easily. Again, keeping someone dead right there was probably the best idea, unintentionally, I'm assuming from FF4FE's side, because it allowed for getting this count through a couple times. At this point, shouldn't have any problems with it. Hopefully he can get through this fight without a wipe.
I'm gonna take your word for it, but Plague, I don't like it. Go away. It does mean things. That being said, I really wish that since this is a backtack spot and the numbers are backwards for Plague, it'd be really cute if the damage output numbers were backwards too. But that's just me being weird.
Hey, Oscar, guess what?
What?
Edward gets levels.
Yay! Best boy! Best boy!
FF4FE gets through that Plague fight. Palom down. That's a little unfortunate because we want him to get the levels. Edward up. I think FF4FE probably considers that unfortunate because he didn't let Edward get levels. But does get through. Doesn't take the safety save. Says, you know what? It was Plague. I'm fine. I can do it again if I need to. Let's just go see what's here.
Yeah, FF4FE is definitely a bolder runner than I am. I would have saw that Plague and be like, I'm saving at least 5 times because heck that. But that is an interesting and actually pretty easy check with the tower key. It's one of the freest spots in the game, so that's an easy
is
look.
it?
Right? It's Blarg!
Hello, Blarg.
Blarg, don't just stand there, go blah! And then he got blarged.
So, tower key means no keyless tower today, unfortunately. Wyvern here, not too bad, thankfully. Got that Star Barrel up in time. Could have been very, very, very bad had we not gotten the Star Barrel off, but we're fine. And FF4FE is going to be the first one through Mount Ordeals.
So that means if he is lucky to find Cecil, unless Cecil happens to be locked away in the Giant, that's going to be a Paladin Cecil with, well, not much of anything right now. And if Tella is found, he doesn't have to rely on Tella recalling the randomest of spells at the randomest of times, Tella will have access to everything. So he'll be more than just an exit bot. He'll be an exit bot plus. So good for Tella.
So, Asuka, I think you've seen a few more races this week than I have. Have we had a hard required giant seed yet this weekend?
I don't think I've watched per se, but I do know there have been a few hard required giants in this tournament. Solaris has capital O opinions on hard required giants.
So does our tracker.
Yeah.
So would you like to explain how we could have a hard required giant and why we're hoping we don't have one?
Okay, so giant is heckin' bad, y'all. We have a new flag called Vanilla Giant, which means once you enter the giant, you are not allowed to leave until you finish the giant. No cheeky D machine grinds, no cheeky Mac giant grinds. You finish the giant, you deal with those 2 bosses, and then we'll let you go, because we're nice. So if there's some massive rudeness up there, like, oh, I don't know, Kanatsu in the element spot, or a Demus in CPU, you gotta finish those. So if you go to giant with vanilla giant flags on, keep a save outside the giant. Anywho, what we can see to make this a hard required giant, because you do get only a character check, we want to see the only Cecil in the seed coming from the giant, but we also want to see the Demist in one of those 2 spots, preferably CPU because it's funny. If Demist happens to give, oh, I don't know, a hook, or actually no, the harp that leads to like the pink tail or the legend sword, essentially a Demist chain at the giant with a Cecil, that means they would have to go to the giant, which means that'll probably be the last thing they check, and none of you are getting sleep, so I hope you really don't mind that fact.
But Asuka, we found our Cecil using the back attack spot of Baron Ed.
No, wrong one. That one's mean. It's a false Dark Knight Cecil.
Yeah, but Edward got to do Edward things and hide, and got through that fight with Pancraz.
I know,
so Pancraz picks up a shiny Sid.
Okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves with that Sid there. But, well, okay, the axes that we have for Sid make Sid pretty viable. The Masamune is a nice, shiny, pokey, slashy stick that, again, none of our characters can use yet. If we do happen to find an edge, that would be a spicy piece of Hanzo steel. But yeah, Eddie strats. Again, Eddie's useful. Dark Knight Cecil does 3 attacks. As long as you don't attack him, he'll talk about justice and yada, yada, yada. No one cares. But if Eddie hides and everybody else dies, it doesn't matter because Eddie lives. Because Eddie is the most important character for really cheeky strats. The end.
So Frankie Bones took a wipe originally into Plague, had not saved, so had to go through that CPU fight again, went through the Plague fight again, once again has not saved, is about to come face to face with Blarg.
That's kind of terrifying. At this point, you might want to switch to either Wyvern Standard Time or Wyvern Standard Time Adjacent, just to get those Star Veils out.
Well, this is Frankie's first time seeing said Blarg, so didn't know it was coming.
Yeah, I'm actually curious what battle speed Pankraz was at, because that was a surprising amount of turns before Wyvern showed up. Or you could just use Virus and Blarg, or counter Blarg with your own Blarg.
Frankie Brown showing off why doing that one siren at the very beginning of the seed was such a good idea. Getting that Palom online took care of that Wyvern before Wyvern could even get a Mega Nuke off. There's another Mylon variant in Dwarf Castle as Pankraz is going to go take on those 2 bosses.
Yeah, and explain what this particular purple robe is going to tell us about the purple robe we saw at the beginning of the race.
So there's 2 Mylons. There's Mylon and Friends, and there's Mylon Z. Both use a purple robe. So whichever one's here, which is Mylon and Friends, we now know that the other purple robe that we see is going to be Mylon Z.
And then the blue robes that we've already seen, that's a similar situation, except not as slightly similar. It's either the 3 hits and done water hag or the haha, you're gonna be here for 5 minutes alt gauntlet. They both use the blue robe. The difference is with the blue robe, the variance is that if you are in an area where there can be there's multiple sprites normally in vanilla, say like Baron in this first spot in Dwarf Castle. If it's all gauntlet, you'll see multiple blue robes. If it's water hag, you're just going to see the one. So even if you're not sure what it is when you look at a boss, it's sometimes really good to actually just face check it as long as you've saved beforehand to find out what you might be dealing with in the future.
Yeah, face checking bosses is always a good thing, especially, well, it's more good when you have a boss hunt. We don't have a boss hunt this seed, so it's more just kind of seeing who's out there, who we don't have to deal with.
So meanwhile, Frankie is trying his luck again with that Valvalis fight, which is, I mean, it would be a lot nicer if we happened to find a cane. Because that bugle is surprisingly strong and very hard to hit, as we're finding out.
Yeah, I think the difference here right now is xPankraz bought a cat claw Feymarch, actually, which gave him enough multipliers to pierce Val's physical defense there. frankiebones, I believe, is still using an ice claw, if I'm not mistaken, which doesn't give you enough multipliers to get through, unfortunately. Now, on the right side, we know this is absolutely nothing, except for a Sid, who is not required, so frankiebones is not going to be hurting by not doing this check. But you gotta feel that's going to eat at him for a while, going, I need to get through this check. What if something important's here? I need to get through this check.
Yeah, that is a very... It's a rough one knowing this, like, okay, I know I can take this, and this is a fairly straightforward one with my team, but yeah. So, I wouldn't be surprised if, as Frankie continues on with this match, he'll be checking that Baron and just see if he can take on that Val, or if he happens to find a cane, then it's going to be an immediate thing. xPankraz, in the meanwhile, is finding out that he has a taste for sushi this lovely now morning. And, yeah, we have a dollar store food showing up with Tella.
Hashtag Tella life. In the meantime, Frankie dealing with the hardest boss of the game, the inventory boss, got rid of a bunch of stuff, said, yeah, no, I don't need this, go away.
Yeah, inventory boss is definitely like my least favorite boss, and one that I deal with all the time.
But finding Tella here is not necessarily a bad thing. You've already done our deals. He's going to come with his full spell suite, and that Octomam not long for this particular world. We'll have to see if we got all the tentacles or if one of them comes back to crawl up and find a crystal.
Yeah, with that Octomam, the thing is with that is normally if the fight goes a long time, Octomam starts out really fast, and then as you take weight or you take HP down, it loses tentacles because it misplaces them in the concrete. So it gets slower because it's looking for those tentacles. Eventually, it does die. Well, in this case, xPankraz was just a little bit too good and too fast because he's speed running. So yeah, most of the tentacles were still around when Octomam died.
But you gotta get rid of all the tentacles, otherwise the tentacle crawls up, takes the crystal, and then you're left with just what's around Nuka's neck, which in this case happens to be this big black rock.
So sub 30, and yeah, the entire game is open to you. Have fun. This is when the runners are probably going to say heck. Lots of heck.
xPankraz saying, I've got a tower key, let's just knock tower off while I'm here. And honestly, with how xPankraz runs, I wouldn't be surprised to see him do this, and if it doesn't pay out, go immediately down to that Feymarch and just clear it out.
Yeah, xPankraz is definitely one of those runners that can do a lot with only a few amount of levels, and I mean, yeah, I can kind of agree with you there. I wouldn't mind seeing a lunar check. We are running out of just character locations, especially since free characters are not on. And yeah, that Cecil would be pretty nice. I don't know what, if anything, in terms of weaponry xPankraz has for Cecil. I think I've seen a lightsaber for sale somewhere.
I've seen an Ogre Axe pickup, which would, be nice.
Yep. The Ogre Axe, the Rune Axe. So, okay, a Cecil can have quote-unquote weapons. That's fine. But, yeah, still, that'd be a nice buffed character to maybe do reflex strats with, deal with lunar sparkles, simple things like that.
That's going to be a D-Lunar, I believe. So I believe it's Pale Dim. So D-Lunar, is the only sparkle we have not seen yet at this point.
Oh, that is correct. Yeah, Pale Dim normally is kind of annoying to deal with. Every time you use the fight command, Pale Dim's like, slow down, y'all, and just use it slow. But in this particular spot, it has, like, no HP pretty much. So you just have to look at it hard enough, and it eventually will start crumbling and disappearing.
Meantime, frankiebones got through the Mylon and Friends, got through the Octomam, picked up his Tella, is about to pick up his Darkness Rock, and we'll have to see what decision he makes. Does he go straight to the moon to check and see if it's successful? Or does he stay down here and say, hey, I've got this tower key burning a hole in my pocket, let's go and take on a tower?
It's such a hard gamble. I mean, going to the moon takes some time. You have to pick up the lunar whale, actually see another cutscene that takes you to the moon, and it just takes a long time. If there's nothing there, then, well, poop. But the thing is, with that character, though, that is a gated character. So there is a slightly higher % chance that you can find characters like Fu, like Edge, like a duplicate Edward, those kind of things. Important characters. Plus, with that Masamune also burning a hole or stabbing a hole in your pocket, you might want to give that to someone that can use it. Also, top of tower is kind of free.
I find it funny we have Bahamut at the top of tower sending the king of summon monsters, Leviathan, into the Ruby spot.
It's the battle of the winged noodle versus the soggy noodle.
Meantime, frankiebones is saying, hey, Darkness Crystal, let's go. We've got a character hunt, let's go check.
And plus, as I mentioned before, this is one of the, I think now, 2 spots that sirens could exist in with that lunar shop. So I wouldn't be surprised if Frankie just happens to check that shop as well.
That would not be a bad play at this point.
Meanwhile, our wonderful... I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted by the sunglasses on Yang. Just look at that swag punch! Like... It's the simple things late at night.
So I have not seen where Bahamut is in his count, but I've got a feeling we should probably put some walls up here pretty soon. Yeah, that's a 1.
I did see that Yang cast Starveil. Palom now has a wall. Edward is being the best boy in hiding. Bahamut goes blarg, so okay, there'll be 2 characters alive, and yeah, still some damage left.
Yep, and there goes Bahamut. Doesn't even get to fold his wings back in. We're done.
Womp womp, Bahamut. We get to find out what the key item is, and it is. That is an interesting item that we can't do anything with because we don't have a hook yet.
And right now, for Pankraz, there's just going to be another key item on the way to 10. Once we find that hook, we can turn in that rat tail and see what it is. But right now, not really anything we can do.
Interesting check going for the monster. Interesting check going for the monsters right there. This is one of the few instances where we can pull a tier 7 item. Unfortunately, we do have that tier 6 flag set on, which limits what we can find. But those are not sirens in the lunar shop. Those are coffins and starveils, which are fantastic, but no sirens.
Not what we wanted to see. I didn't see what Pankraz pulled there, did you?
I was distracted by the lack of sirens. A strength ring, according to Xenocat in chat. Thank you for that.
And once again, shouting out our tracker, Xenocat, doing great work keeping us honest with what we're finding, and Scala Kitty, our wonderful new streamer. If you have not, give them both a follow, as well as our runners, frankiebones and xPankraz, putting on a great show for you. And of course, my co-commentator, Oscar, go give her a follow.
But most importantly, give a follow for the best commentary person on the planet. That would be Gambit017. Gambit is heckin' awesome, and I've always wanted to do comms with him, and that is a spicy edge. So give him some love. Gambit is single-handedly good people, and everybody should give him a follow.
So Frankiebones picking up the Edge from the Lunar Dais. We do have the Hanzo Steel form. Edge is going to be really helpful right away, especially if we need to do that all gauntlet down there at the Leviathan spot. But Frankiebones might be doing a cheeky K Bahamut check here.
I'm here for it. I'm not here for the samurai arrows in PK's chest, but sorry, I love hearts and love.
So, did this all start, Zoe, when you lost the power and I had to step in? Is that what we're referring back to? Is that when this happened?
I'm cheating on Zoe for midnight matches and doing comms with you.
That's a bike in the K Bahamut. That's a nope. I'm out of here.
I love that.
So Bigen, first off, the K Bahamut spot is a very, very high physical attack power spot. It hit hard, it hit fast, it go ouchie. Bigen is a very, very physical boss. It hit hard, it hit fast, it go ouchie. No.
Okay, there is the really cheeky option, since we do have a Quack Kid. You can kind of, I don't want to say completely eliminate Bigen's ouchiness, but you can mitigate it by taking his noodly appendages and snake arms away from him. What you can do is, by casting Quake, you can take out the arms. And unfortunately, because it's a really fast spot, he'll be like, no, and take his arms back, and it's this literal awkward tug of war and tentacles and snakes. But it's a good way to help mitigate the damage and make it a little bit easier. That being said, I'm not going to deal with Bigen right there.
Yeah, no, Bigen gonna hit hard, hit fast, no. Pankraz got the package from the tower key. Went and checked it. It was a Porum. So if we want a white mage, we can get a white mage. Pankraz just saying, yeah, no, I don't need that white mage, thank you.
I mean, who wouldn't want Possum's favorite character? Real talk.
To answer your question in chat, no, we have not seen Demas yet. Demas is still out in the wild somewhere. Who knows when we'll find her.
Yeah, and alluding to, or speaking what's going, the comments going on in chat, the package in this flag set has been very interesting, and there have been multiple races won and lost because of that package check, particularly with boss hunts. You see the character right away, but you have to sit through some pretty long cutscenes to find out what boss is at the package. Now, we haven't seen Demas yet. What if that Demas just happens to be at that package and has the harp that leads into like a hook, or that leads into the pink tail or the legend sword? That could be locked behind that package for a good while, and our runners are just sitting on it, not doing anything about it, because they don't want to deal with cutscenes.
It very much could, but I love what Frankie is doing here. Took the edge from the moon, came back down, said, I've got tower key, let's do tower. While we're on our way here, let's steal some sirens. We have not seen them in shouts yet. We don't have a hook yet. There's no guarantee. We'll find a hook for that pink tail objective. Let's go ahead and get our grind going now. Let's get our sirens up so we have them ready.
Yeah, agreed. This is an absolutely brilliant play. And what's actually funny, since we found a Porum at the package, Porum has this cute little ability called Cry that does almost nothing. But for some reason, because Final Fantasy IV was a finely coded video game, Porum's Cry makes it easier for Edge to steal things. Logic, y'all. So that would have been funny if we just happened to keep that Porum, and then Edge just happened to start stealing things a lot quicker from these alerts. But I don't see that happening much at all.
So it would have been great if Frankie had already done said tower key, got in said package, and took said Porum. Pankraz on the other side, I'm not sure if he took all the trap chests on the way down the tower. I know he took at least 2.
All right.
don't. Yeah, I think he only took 2.
All right, hold on. I'm actually going to explain the whole cry thing because I know how this actually works. This is something that I actually know, and chat can hear me.
Also, everyone, you better say hi to Scala.
Hi.
Or I will steal the newspaper from her and bonk all of you. So say
Okay.
hi to Night Mom.
Okay, so the whole thing is that originally Cry was supposed to make it so that way enemies were more likely to run away from you. But they completely took out that whole part of the code because it was. I'm assuming they ran into problems with it during bug testing. But that same part of the code, like that little part of it, like still kind of remained, and that now affects how likely you are to be able to steal instead. Some like weird little code overlap like that. So that is why Cry raises steal attempts, is that they sort of... The same piece of information that was going to make enemies more likely to run away also makes it more likely to be able to steal from them. And so it's this very weird corner case that in the vanilla game would never ever come into play, but we're in a randomizer. And so we can explore all these sort of weird corner cases.
Wait, but would you say this is an edge case?
Okay, I'll go back to being quiet now.
But look at all the but Scala, all the highs. Everyone say hi.
All right, but I do actually have to go be quiet because it's late here. So, but there you go. Everyone learned a thing. Hooray!
In the meantime, Pankraz went to the moon, picked up the edge,
and got rid of Edward.
Yes, got rid of Edward, but went straight back to the towers looking for those other 2 trap chests. To steal some sirens himself. Not a bad play here. Again, we have checked all but the one shop in Evelyn. No guarantee we'll find the hook this seed. Let's go ahead and find a trap chest and get some of our sirens, even though those trap chests are hiding from Pankraz.
Yeah, the easy ones, the early ones, there's one right there. So the other ones, yeah, sure, but nope, not these. So yeah, and frankiebones had finished. They took enough stole enough sirens for Frankie's liking. Meanwhile, Pankraz is like, all right, my turn now. Now, what's interesting is, Yang just kamikaze Sid. Why do you think that he would do that?
Well, at this point for Pankraz, it's going to be about turn economy. As you see, he's going about the virus, his own palom. That way, Edge is the only one taking turns, so he knows every time a thing comes up, he can just immediately scroll up twice or scroll down twice to the sneak command, and it's going to be Edge using sneak instead of another character randomly coming up into the queue. So having only the one character alive makes this a very, very easy way to just, hey, let me steal, let me go, let me steal, let me go, let me steal, let me go, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive to see just how fast Pankraz is getting sirens in comparison to how Frankie got the sirens. Because again, Pankraz took out all his characters. Frankie said, "Hey, you guys can stay alive and call it a day." So it's a little cool bit of speed tech that you don't usually think about unless you see it happen live and you go, "Huh, I wonder why that is." And just like that, Pankraz is already bringing everybody back to life because, well, yeah, we're good. We've got our sirens.
I'm gonna let Yang take a couple punches against the alert while we keep stealing. Just get a couple extra sirens before Yang goes by alert.
And that's a nice shield.
Going in this part, you can use it right now.
Sid
Yes,
you can.
You're right.
Yeah. Sid will figure out a way to use that somehow.
I just never equipped Sid with shields, so I forgot he can use them.
Yeah, I tend to forget shields exist because, well, other weapons that aren't shields. Meanwhile, looks like Pankraz is getting his grind on with those sirens that he stole. I wonder, 8 sirens? Yeah, seems like a decent amount of sirens right there.
And a little bad doing it with only 6 key items. I'm sure he would have rather been able to kind of wait till later to do this, but probably saying, hey, look, we're 45 minutes in. I've got 6 cannons. I've got 1 objective. We need to go ahead and get some levels so we can start taking on moon stuff, because all we've got left, really, I believe, is the elements at Ashura, the Alt Gauntlet at Leviathan, and then the moon.
There's always everyone's favorite spot when you haven't found Demist, the Magus Sister spot.
See, now I want to require Demist and Magus Sisters holding Earth Crystal with a hard required Earth Zot.
Well, I either want to see Demist there at the package because I'm a horrible person.
Frankiebones getting lucky 7s on that Pale Dim. Got the kill.
Nice. I agree with that. I think my favorite kind of Demist I've ever rolled for myself is Demist at Magus Sisters, and Rydia's mom gave the Earth Crystal. So if you wanted a pigtail out of that seed, you had to double dip Zot, whether you liked it or not, because that Zot route eventually led to the pigtail.
Those are always the fun seeds. In the meantime, xPankraz says, I'm done grinding for right now. Let's head down to the Fey March. What do you think he takes first, Element or Alt Gauntlet?
At 47 minutes in, I'd almost think the elements, but at the same time, Alt Gauntlet with probably Quake, well, aside from the hooligans, shouldn't be too difficult. So I'd flip a coin.
I'd probably take the elements first, get my buff on with Palom, and just go for some reflective fire strats. But we'll have to see what xPankraz decides. Right now, just doing a fire sale, getting rid of everything, saying I don't need any of this stuff. Let's get rid of things. We're buying another Cat Claw for Yang because Cat Claw is best for 2 Cat Claws are best for Yang.
Yeah, because those give agility, correct?
Strength, I believe.
Oh heck.
Yeah, Cat Claw, I believe, is +5 strength, if I remember correctly. Xenocat, our tracker, saying both, as is Zoe.
Porque no los dos. Meanwhile, Frankie taking the long walk to find out that there is a Porum, and Frankie hasn't reset. So
Anna is running down the village. Nope, there's reset.
Oh.
Was thinking about that, though. Was thinking about that White Mage, which I don't blame him at this point. We have not seen a White Mage this seed, and we have a potentially nasty moon coming up. Not necessarily a bad thing. It's going to go back and finally get some revenge on that Val, though.
It's like, honestly, at this point, I would, although it's a time sink, I would check that boss in the package just to see if it's Demist. Just in hopes that it's something simple. Yeah. Desperate times call for desperate measures, and yeah, let's do it.
Meantime, we do have xPankraz putting a Starbell on Yang, reflecting Fire 3 with Palom. Edge is going to get in on the stuff for the Flame Spell. That Flame Spell unfortunately brings us to the Rubicon form. That's probably not a good thing.
No, that's damage. That is a lot of hacking damage. But on the bright side, Frankie has gotten through that wonderful Bikini Tornado, dealing with Dark Knight Cecil on his screen. xPankraz, on the other hand, has noped out of forms 3 and 4 of the elements and gets a pigtail. So that is an objective if we had the hook.
That's half of objective 3. Now we just need the hook so we can turn it in. And at this point, if Rattail has either the harp or the legend sword, it could even possibly be a quick go mode, go over 1 objective to 4 in a hurry.
Yeah, so honestly, right now, and unless xPankraz wants to deal with it all gauntlet, I'd almost go to the moon and check the dealer spot just for condensed checks. That's 2 key items right there, and hopefully nothing absolutely brutally rude. But it does look, xPankraz is 2-stop shopping this Fey March, and we are going to get to deal with the alt gauntlet.
Yeah, when you come down here at this point, you're committed to completely clearing this. Not a bad play at all. Unfortunately, Frankie Bones, also forgetting who's on commentary, got rid of their Edward for the Sid.
Yeah, I know. Disapprove of this.
Also, our researcher Scala pointing out, FF4FE did not cast Float before this all gauntlet started. This could be a problem later on. Not a problem in this first fight, but you want to explain why this could be a problem later on?
There is a certain character in this, or a certain enemy in this alt gauntlet that likes casting Quake. And will wreck your day if you don't have Float. Because if you just cast Float and they try to use Quake and go, that's cute. That's a cute little ravine that does no damage to me. But yeah, I don't remember which particular one. I think it's in like the third or fourth encounter. But yeah, without Float, that's going to make that a very terrifying fight.
So far, FF4FE is 2 for 2. Here comes the third fight.
Also, I've brought it up in a previous restream with weird faces on bosses. Can we talk about the Conjurer as it disappears? Which way is that Conjurer looking?
Yes.
Why does it look like a bad knockoff Simpsons character? Okay, is the Conjurer looking up? And is it a bird on its back?
The Conjurer is looking at the D Machine's tail.
Heck!
Meantime, FF4FE is through to the very, very last fight of this alt gauntlet. It is the double clappers. Immediately goes for that hourglass. I do not blame him. Stop these clappers so you don't have to worry about them and just go to town.
Okay, I've heard of a clapper grind. And I'm not asking for a clapper grind because I don't know what a clapper grind is. Gambit, you're the smart person in the booth today. What's a clapper grind?
So a clapper grind would have been the fight previous to this, where that particular Conjurer summons clappers. And clappers are, you can see they're basically the same sprite as the King Ryu's, the Gold and Silver Dragons. They are a poor man's dragon grind. Very popular way back in the day in the vanilla speedrun, not as popular anymore, but it is still a viable grind option if you are in need of some levels. So.
Also, oh my goodness, Scala posting the PSP version of the Conjurer, and it looks even weirder!
Yeah, see, I knew better than to click on that link.
What is its back? I thought it had a tentacle for an arm. I didn't realize the thing in front was the arm. What is this?
In the meantime, FF4FE is through that alt gauntlet, and we get value in the Fame Arch today. Pink Hill and Legend Sword. That's objective 2 off the board for FF4FE.
And we get a really shiny sword that nobody can use because we don't have a Cecil, and access to a really good shop.
It's a dart, though.
It is a dart.
Meantime, Frankie Bones having some problems with this fight, and that's going to be a wipe to the elements. Ooh.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those, that particular fight's definitely one you want blinks up on, or illusions, or something to prevent the punchiness of that particular segment, quarter of the fight.
Meantime, FF4FE is going to show us the shop. Protector Ring, Stardust Rod, Power Shirt, Crystal Ring, if I saw correctly. That is a stacked shop today.
Yeah. And fire sale round 2. Let's go.
I mean, I'd like a Stardust and a Power Shirt, please. I mean, I'd be tempted to sell this X-Cal to pick up either a Stardust or a Power Shirt.
I mean, you're not going to get Cecil unless you sell the Crystal Sword. Because, of course. But yeah, I would totally sell that as well because value.
So at this point, we know value's got to be up on the moon because unless there's a cheeky demon somewhere, that's it for checks here on Earth.
And yeah, FF4FE agrees, and we are heading right up to the moon there. In the meantime, while Frankie is fighting the elements round to Electric Boogaloo and Pankraz is taking the one-way express elevator, if you've ever watched us or any of these restreams and said, I could do better, or I could do worse, but I don't care, I want to do it, or this looks like fun, I want to get involved, come join us. The Free Enterprise community is absolutely fantastic. They're really, really nice people. And we have a Discord that's been posted in the chat. And we also are always looking for more people to help out with restreams. You can either be like Xenocat, who's pushing all of the buttons and making everything look pretty when lit up. You could be like Scala, who's making this show look fantastic and preventing any fires from happening and things blowing up from a technological standpoint. Or you could be like Gambit and I, who are just sitting here watching the race and talking about it. Gambit actually giving intelligent answers and me just going, what's the Conjurer look like? Either way, it's really fun and we always are looking for more people. So check us out. Feel free to get involved. We have races, we have cookies. We only bite on days that end in Y. And we're all just heckin' good people.
Hey, Asuka?
Yeah?
I'm supposed to give intelligent answers? I've just been memeing this whole time.
I mean, I'm just here to give an overwhelming surplus of dignity. That's all.
In the meantime, Frankie Bones got the pink tail, but decided to exit out, did not take on that All Gauntlet, is not going to get the value of that Legend Sword, but is following Pankraz up to the moon.
Yeah, I don't blame him. That's a long series of fights that unfortunately we know that there is value there, but if you don't know that, then there was probably faster fights elsewhere. Frankie is going to be finding out the kind of really funny news if they go to Cave Value, they will find a noodly person, or they're just going to head back to Earth.
Well, Frankie already checked Cave Bahamut. He does know about the Baigan. I don't think Pankraz even ever walked into Cave Bahamut. But right. Pankraz dove straight down to the lunar subterranean. It's going to go get those ribbon room checks and the density down here. Notice all he needs is a hook for objective 3. Twin Harp would give him objective 1. Or at this point, like a Baron Key Earth Crystal, which opens up some more of those character checks. Frankie going to go take that on the forum now?
Show the boss! Show the boss! Show the boss!
I think Frankie's going to take her. I think he says, hey, I'm about to go to the moon. I want a white mage. I've still got sirens. I've not done too big of a grind yet. I've got hourglasses. I can go do King Ryu's and get this white mage online real fast.
I love it. I absolutely love this play. I'm hoping, not just for Frankie's sake, but I'm hoping for a D-Mist here. That would just be hilarious. Because that could potentially be another key item and super value potentially. Meanwhile, Pankraz is finding out that the Dark Elf, which is another very strangely drawn character because that's all these bosses in this game, is in the ribbon room, so it's going to take a little bit, but the nice thing is once Dark Elf says, me change, and turns into the slightly less and dull, it's like a dull dim, not a pale dim, but a dull dim. You can do things like weak, and I think stop, or slow, and other important things to make that part of the fight go kind of faster.
Once Dark Elf changes forms into Dark Dragon, loses the boss bit for some weird coding reason, and is accessible to all the non-boss bit stuff, such as Sit Stop and Weak and all that other fun stuff. So you can toss an Hourglass and it becomes completely free. You can cast Weak to bring it down to like single digit HP. You can even try to cast Fatal. I think it still has instant death resist, but you know.
Alright, now is the moment of truth. What boss is awaiting Frankie in the
It's some dimps.
But it's a white mage, so yay? Question mark.
So if you're Frankie, who gets to? Oh, that's your room. Thanks, game. If you're Frankie, who do you get the boot to here?
Did you see the Ripper?
Sorry, Oscar.exe has failed and needs to be rebooted here.
It was a dart and another Masamune. It's not the de-loader room, it's the copycat room.
So old man Tella gets the boot from Frankie's party. Quorum has been picked up. Going to be interesting to see what Frankie does from here. I wanted to bet Go to the Moon does dragons, is what I would guess. That's an Odin in the White Sphere altered. That's not fun.
No, but you know who would be a really good character to have right now?
If his name started with an E and then Edward.
Yeah. So Edward could do some really cheeky stuff against bosses. Odin is one of them. Because Odin raises his sword and turns into a lightning rod, and then he goes slash, and then people die. Except Edward when you're hiding. And then you could do zap after 2 slashes, and then kill Odin. But now, since Edward's gone, Pankraz is just gonna have to kill him normally.
Meantime, welcome on into Couch 23 and his raiding party. Welcome on into this fun Free Enterprise After Dark race between frankiebones and xPankraz. To sum it up for you, Feymarch had all the value today. Gave us both the Pink Tail and the Legend Sword, albeit the Legend Sword coming from a very fun alt gauntlet at Leviathan. Pankraz has decided to go up to the moon because he is out of checks on Earth. frankiebones has faded that alt gauntlet for right now, but did do the package check, picked himself up a white mage, which Pankraz does not have.
But it turns out that Earth, or ground does beat lightning. And that's why Odin is somehow holding on to an Earth rock. I tried and failed with that Pokemon reference, but I don't really care because it's 1248 over here. So that's 2 characters, that's 2 bosses, and that's a free key item.
So the question is for Pankraz at this point, is this enough to go chase, or do you keep clearing?
That's a tough one. I would keep clearing, or at the very least see what boss fights are at the moon. I mean, you're still looking for that Cecil, which is another objective, but when you're so close to finishing the key item hunts, I'd hope for something like the King Queen in like a really rude spot. Like, this would be funny if this was King Queen, since we know it's not all gauntlet.
That's the exact opposite of King Queen. That's Nazo.
I mean, it's got a blue purple, and so does King Queen.
This is pure garbage, and we are here for it because this turtle's going to hit hard at this spot. And then when he builds up the wave, those waves are going to hit hard because the wave takes off, I believe it is 1/4 of Kanazo's current HP off your entire party. This spot has something like 50,000 something HP, something like that. It's pretty high. But yeah.
That being said, with the little tiny zap from Tell on floor duty, all of a sudden that's not good. With that little zap from the lit one, that definitely helped stave off the wave. That being said, with Tell on the ground, that option's kind of off the table right now. So okay, Sid, prove me wrong. That's cool. Thanks, old man. You're
me. It's 37,000 hit points here. It's still a heck of a ton, and will still be just 4% of that will insta kill everyone in your party.
So I had a not related to the race, but related to the game thought. Looking at the anatomical setup that is Kanatsu, does that Kanatsu stand on its back legs? Think about it. I mean, those hip joints have to rotate a significant amount to pull that off, but you would think with the elbows going back, it would be, like, weird.
My brain hurts now.
But you can't unsee it now!
Meantime, frankiebones taking advantage of the hourglasses, taking advantage of the sirens installed with the edge, doing King Ryu's is going to get that Porum online in a hurry, and boy, is she going to be needed once we get some of these fights down here.
This is true. And plus, okay, but look at the next structure though. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't. I want logic in my video games, not fantasy. I'm so confused now.
But thankfully, Pankraz is to the hiding in a shell phase. This is going to be great because in a shell, all Kanazu does is do Remedy. It's going to be a bad thing because Remedy is going to heal a heck ton of hit points. As you see, 37,000 healed back up. Thankfully, Yang is doing about 32,000 per punch, so should be able to stay ahead of it and be through this fight. It's just going to take a little bit of extra time.
Yeah, once you get to this point, it's pretty much a damage race, and you can actually get into a cycle of not being able to do enough damage to out damage the remedy, which has happened to me once in a while. At that point, you just have to kind of reset, contemplate your life choices, walk away, go take a stroll in the rain, and then try again a different day.
I've definitely had that happen to me before, but Sand Ruby is our reward for that lovely fight.
It is a hard
and to answer your question, we don't know who the Sand Ruby character is because nobody has checked who's hiding in the bed today.
There's really a lot we don't know about this seed, per se. Surprisingly.
Earth Crystal, Sand Ruby, still not enough for Pankraz to go chase, which actually I don't blame. Again, both runners have that pass. That kind of incentivizes, let's go ahead and full clear this moon, get everything off of it that we could ever possibly want, so we don't ever have to come here again.
And plus, it's been pointed out in chat that our favorite hot stack of pancakes himself, Pankraz, is up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 key items. Why is that number really important?
Well, for the randomizer, we have a flag set that once you have 10 key items, you get double XP. So now every fight from here on out will give Pankraz double XP. Reason that's a good thing is, hey, you'll be able to level up a little bit faster. There's a secondary flag that's called the ketchup flag or the slingshot flag. It's got multiple different names. But basically, if a character is 5 levels or below the median party level, they can get slingshot, which means they can earn an additional double XP. That flag is actually turned off for this tournament, but the regular 10 key item XP doubling is on, so Pankraz is going to enjoy that double XP, though not in this fight because Dr. Ligue and Balnab kind of split its HP and XP with 2 different forms, so you only get about a third or a quarter of it.
Appreciate the fact that Grr is at Blarg.
Dur Blarg, or was Blarg Dur?
I mean, Blarg has Grr, or Grr is at Blarg. Works. And people might think that's kind of weird, but all y'all in chat understood it perfectly. So, no heck, because it made sense to you. Welcome to Free Enterprise After Dark.
I see that reference, Commander Leonhardt. I see it. Anyway, Pankraz through to the second phase, and unfortunately both his damage dealers, Yang and Edge, got gassed by Ligue. That's not something you want to see.
No, that just does some, well, not so great things to our runners. Plus, okay, I've never understood Dr. Ligue. It's like, why do all this stuff and then just remedy the team? Like, or heal the team? What? Luge!
So I think I can answer this. In the vanilla game, Dr. Ligue is at the top of Tower Zot. He's sending Rubicante into the hook route, right?
Right.
So Rubicante always wants a fair fight. That's why Rubicante heals you before it's fighting the hook route. So Luge is saying, I do want to be kind of like Rubicante, so he poisoned you, and it does a lot of bad stuff. We'll show you every once in a while too.
So about ditching Edward, y'all. And yes, I know they have an edge. Don't remind me what's gonna happen to that spoon.
That spoon's going to be quad 9 damage to something.
I don't like it. But the thing is with Dr. Luge, the leg, that leg is not as good of a leg. It is a robo leg, and it doesn't look like. I mean, look at the flame tattoos on Ruby's leg. That leg is on fire, and Luge is. Okay, so God Mike Scala has cut in and said, and I quote, "Are they tattoos or just leggings?" And I giggle because I have a pair of Rubicante leggings. So the answer is Porque no los dos.
Meantime, Pankraz has decided to go ahead full clear, goes to the Pale Dim Altar, finds Ashura. Ashura is not going to be a hard fight here, just a little bit time consuming.
There's a few ways to go about this. You can either do a life lock, which means you attack every single time that the like blue face casts light one. Oh, words are hard. Life one. Or you can put a wall on Ashura, so you get all the healing benefits while you just do all the damage to it. Yes, Calm. Ruby legs do exist. And I have a pair.
This makes me slightly afraid to go into the off-topic channel of the Discord for the next 24 hours.
Hey, you ain't seen a picture of me wearing those leggings? Heck no! Up, Scala!
I'm more looking forward to what Scala just posted in chat, is what I'm talking about.
That's where I got mine. Leggy has Ruby leggings, but does Leggy have Leggy leggings? That's leggingception. That's leg-inception. It works. It works.
Asuka, I hope
No, I'm not watching that.
Spoon for quad 9 damage to Ashura, by Spoon by Ashura. I want to see if this is any type of value.
No, the value.
The value's in the music that Edward's about to play, because that's a twin harp.
So, I'll be honest. I would actually go to Troya first and do the Earth Crystal before I went to the. I don't know, because if you can go to Zot and bank on the Cecil or the Hook, or you can go to Cave Magnus and try to bank on a Hook. Which one would you go?
I go Cave Magnus, do the objective, and then parlay it immediately into Zot.
So we just got outclassed by Wylam and Chat Gambit. You know what they said?
Repeat first.
Check the sand, Ruby!
That's what Pankraz is gonna go do.
So as we were saying about if you ever wanted to do comms or tracking your restream, we're always looking for new people. It'd be funny if this is Edward. Ew!
No, that's
No.
already,
Yeah,
well,
you see
at
him.
least that's an anchor. That's going to be an anchor for later on, because Pankraz, I think, can tell us, unfortunately, down in some levels. So that's an anchor for later on. So in the meantime, that's a check that does not pan out. If Cecil is not up here on Zot, you're still looking for that Hook. You're still looking for that Cecil. We still haven't seen a Demist. So our required giant dream is still alive at the current moment.
Yeah, that is true. And it looks like we are getting to some music, which is gonna be awesome. Because and I get to fangirl again. So DJ Spoony B is pretty heckin' awesome and knows a lot of tunes. Thanks to both Calamity, who's in chat right now, and Xenocat, who's our tracker right now. They've made a lot of songs, and they do a lot of cool things. and we get to find out which one it is at random. As long as it's not Zelda music. Just saying.
So you're on the review. Of course it's going to be Zelda music.
That is my response. No, but seriously, pretty much everything that's done is heckin' amazing. But first we have to get through this part of the fight by Palin just kamikazing himself.
Well, at this point we will be quiet and give it up for our favorite Edward Bard.
Yeah. That they both ditched. Not salty.
I have to admit, I kind of wanted Tella to get the swag kamikaze kill.
I totally wanted Tell to get the swag kamikaze kill.
That is the game music from Ice Hockey, and that's just a ribbon from xPankraz. Not the progression we're looking for, but it's an objective.
But now, the nice thing about how this is all set up, once Pankraz heads back out, goes to the Chocobo, and gets booted back to the Chocobo Forest, he's right by Troya. And now it'll be time to, I don't know if he'll be going to that treasury this late into the game, but definitely that Earth Crystal's going to be checked out.
Yeah, we've got 4 spots left for a character, I believe. 2 here in Zot, 1 behind Baron, and 1 on the Giant. Have we seen any of our dupes yet?
That is a good question. There's the Hook character too.
Oh, there's a Hook character, so I am missing 1. Okay.
I don't think we have.
So at this point, there's still... There's basically a 2/5 chance that this is going to be a character we have not seen yet. And a 1/5 chance that it'll be a Cecil that we're looking for.
I'm hoping for something funky. Like I'm always hoping to see a mop, just because Fu does Fu things and Fu gets funny when Fu does Fu things.
Fu is a great character.
I just like saying Fu. Hey, that's free. Welcome.
Indeed, the free is for free.
Hey, there's 2 ways to go. Oh, Edge. Edge, you should take the kill shot on these. No particular reason.
And just like, sorry, Mom and Dad, I need to get through here. Bye.
It's like, your script takes too long. I'm in a race. GG and bye.
Also, down goes Tella again for our anchor duty.
Watching the floor is hard work.
Yep, never know when that floor is going to sneak up on you.
Right?
meantime, Frankie is making very good work of the lunar subterranean, gets through, gets the sand derby, which we know is not going to be very helpful right now. But working their way through, that's just Iridia in spot 1.
Yeah, there's usually a character in this spot, and unfortunately the game did not decide to load one this time around. So it's a duplicate character.
That is a level 1 Iridia, which would be a great anchor for this.
Sure.
And hey, how about a better white mage?
That's one of those characters you really wish you saw earlier in the seed.
Yeah, it's definitely what you wish you had before you went to the moon, but considering the fact Earth Crystal came from moon, yeah, sorry.
So the obligatory is the Steven, because that was Vanilla Rosa.
In the meantime, that's going to leave the hook route for our Cecil, or the Giant, or Baron.
I saw D period and almost got so hyped.
It's just these Lunars, they're not too much of a threat here.
That's sad. I was hoping to see this.
The one good thing about D-Lunars here is you get to skip the crumble animation you usually get from this spot, because multiple enemies on the screen means they just both fade away and die.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what happened on Pankraz's screen, so that was a quick fight, and now we get to see what key item is this. Are we in go mode, or are we still in hunting mode?
Well, at this point, this has got to either be Hook, Baron, Luca, or Pan. Because this is the last of the... Well, no, okay, take that back. The missing Giant could still hold something.
That's a Baron.
Which is actually quite convenient, because leaving this fight puts us right out of Baron. So, hey, guess what? No Pankraz, you go through the front door, you have to go through the sewer.
Yeah, no going in the civilized way. Go in like all of us scrubs. Just back door, no one can see you. But yeah, this is awfully an awfully, what's the word I'm looking for? Efficient kind of routing that the seed has provided to us.
Right now, Pankraz is not getting punished for fading that Baigen. We'll have to see if that Baigen does hold something though at some point. But, you know, again, we've got good odds of getting the key item we need or the character we need from this check.
Yeah, and there are two key item checks and one character check. Do you go to the Baron Throne or the Odin Throne first? I would prefer the Baron Throne just because it's the key item and the character, but
I don't know. I mean, I might be tempted to go do Odin Throne first, just so it's like, let's just get both checks out of the way in one shot. But at the same point, yeah, you're only needing one key item and or one character. You get a 2-for-1 by doing the Baron Throne first, so.
I agree, and that was a very, very not long for this world, Mylon Zed. One hit and we are done.
Mylon Zed said, fall flat into a deeper, and that was it.
So
also, today's King of Baron is $4 or $6 in a trench coat.
No, Pankraz, we did not see you playing with $2 again. But this is another one of those pretty standard ones. Just use Quake or Virus and be done with it.
Kick.
Or Kick. Well, that flame should take them out. Yeah, we're good.
Meantime, Bones on the second half of the Luge fight. Hey, here's another Rosa. You sure you don't want to white mage?
It's like, I swear, this seed can fit all of these white mages.
So we've got 2 character checks left. We've got the Hook character, which we'll never see because Hook gives us go mode in form of Pigtail turn-in. And we've got the Giant character. Those are our 2 character slots left. One is a dupe. The other is Cecil. Because we've seen dupe Rosa, dupe Iridia.
I really want to see that Cecil and the Giant. That's also me being very nice.
It also means we have figured out that it is Kane and Fu that are taking the day off today.
Oh, that's unfortunate. That's oh, hi.
So yeah, that's go mode.
That is absolutely go mode.
Kiki, do you go check and see who the character is out of the hook route to see if it's at Cecil?
An hour and 26 minutes in, I would want to, but I probably wouldn't. These seeds on average are running about, we'll say 115 to 135. So we're getting literally in the midway point of that time. I'm pretty sure Pankraz is probably thinking, okay, where's my objectives? Oh heck, here's all my objectives. What if my opponent went to the moon earlier than me and found this chain and is already doing what needs to be done? So yeah, I'm not even sure if Pankraz will check the rat tail. It might just be a turn in the pink tail and go. It really depends on how far behind he feels.
Frankiebones is diving back in, going to go down to that Ashura spot, Paladin spot, fight Ashura, get, I believe that was the Twin Heart from there. Unfortunately, without the Legend Sword from that All Gauntlet, it's going to pretty much be drawing dead. Avenger's a nice sword for the pink tail turn in, though. Too bad no one can use it.
that's just, yeah. And see, yeah, Pankraz said, you know what? I like this rat tail. It's cute. I can turn it into a cute little bracelet. I'm fine without the key item. Just let me just get my crystal and leave.
It's going to check the characters. It's just going to be a shop check looking for silk webs.
I could see it being a silk web check. I think I know at least Frankie found the silk webs, and I believe they were actually in the Damsian basement. But it'd be funny if there were sirens right here. Okay, I said it before and I'll say it again. The vast majority of seeds, sirens are in that shop. That shop in particular, and the only time they're not is when I'm running these seeds and I get a hook.
Well, that's only because the Evelyn shop, and I found this out recently, is the only shop guaranteed to have 2 tier 5 items in it. All the rest of the underworld shops aren't guaranteed to have a tier 5 item. So Evelyn shop is special in the fact that it's guaranteed 2. So that's why it's statistically a little bit more often getting there. But I'm seeing flags start coming out in chat. Did I miss something? Is it past bedtime?
What? You were saying? Oh yeah, Z flags. Yeah, so here's the thing. We randomize a whole bunch of heckin' stuff. Z is too strong. Like leg day on steroids. So we just change what Z looks like. And there are 526 unique things that Z can look like. But the only 2 things that you need to do to find out what that Z is and actually beat the game is A, use the crystal, which is actually required. And the other one that I just say is required because memes. There is a very specific question that one must ask. And that question has to be asked by someone intelligent, which is Gambit. So Gambit, what is that question?
Whose butt are we going to be kicking this morning?
You say that much classier than I ever could.
It's practice. That's all it is.
Here I am wondering about the anatomic correctness of a man turtle, and you bringing the class in here. I like it.
So in the meantime, Pankraz tosses the crystal. Zorobus goes Gurg, is about to show us his true colors. And today we have a snake.
It's Zolom! Final Fantasy VII is in the house, y'all. Yeah, this is not a cute butt, unless you are a fan of snakes. At which point, I think it's a cute butt, but I also like snakes. Especially the giant ones that are like 80,000 feet tall and are surprisingly annoying when you fight them the first time.
Well, this has me thinking, how many Final Fantasy VII sprites are there out there?
Yeah.
Like, what's the ratio here?
The answer is yes. Also, Dilber in chat brings up a very good point. This is Sneck, is no butt. Snecks don't technically have butts. Technically. Now I'm thinking of the instructions hurting me. I can't brain.
Frankie Bones tosses an X count and a spoon against Edishura, picks up his twin heart, beelines it straight back to Earth. We're going to bet we're going to see probably the same exact checks that Pankraz made on Frankie's side. Checks the bed in the hypo, checks the harp, checks the Earth Crystal, and hopefully checks the Baron Key right after. And we'll be on the path towards go mode. Only problem is going to be we're still going to be one objective short, so wouldn't be surprised to see Frankie Bones actually check the character down the hook. See if we find that Cecil down there.
Yeah, that's true. And for those that may or may not have been around, the Legend Sword is in the Leviathan spot of Feymarch. The funny part about that is the Alt Gauntlet is in the Leviathan spot of Feymarch.
Definitely, Frankie Bones went down there, took out the element spot to pick up the Pigtail. Feymarch had all the value today. Did not do the Alt Gauntlet, probably saying, hey, look, there's one piece of value. What's the odds? The other piece of value are right here. And unfortunately today, that was 100%.
Yeah, having one objective key item in the Feymarch has been, or in the Feymarch boss fights has been kind of rare this tournament, but to have double value in the Feymarch, heck, that you do not see. You see that about as much as a required giant.
Meantime, we have a very, very important poll rolling. Snakes. All but, no but.
No, the other question, because I know the obligatory meme is, how do certain animals wear pants? Would this be like a tube dress? A tube top? One pant length?
I found it best not to think about these things.
I'm still going to ask the questions. I mean, this is important. It's just a sock.
Meantime, Pankraz is winning Big Bang. Oh, Palom lives through the Big Bang. That's important. Considering the fact that both Yang and Sid, I believe, are boxed up.
Conquers with the real logic. Snecks don't wear pants, they wear pant. Oh, way to try to slither that one past us, Conquers.
Those are rocks on Pankraz's side. That Yang is fully healed. That Sid takes some damage, but we're about to see HP run out on our unfortunate Palom. You did your job, kid. Great job. Take a nap. This snake is not long for this world at this point.
This is pretty much cut and dry at this point, even with that second Meteo. Yeah, this is... I really don't see this ending any other way other than Yang just bringing it home.
Yeah, but in the meantime, there's the crackle, there's the shake. xPankraz has finished Zeromus off and won this 2-2 matchup. The final race spot time of 1 hour, 34 minutes, 13 seconds. So GG's out for Pankraz, moving to 3-2 and still alive in this tournament.
GG's, and hopefully at some point we'll get the Pankraz himself in here. Meanwhile, we do get a reprise of the harp music. I almost said the Z music. The harp music from Frankie's side.
I wonder if the Z music is in the harp field. That'd be funny.
The suggestion box was opened. But in the meantime, we have the Pankraz joining us as the winner of this morning's something logic time match. GG's, Pankraz.
Thank you very much.
The important question first, Pankraz. Snakes, all but or no but?
Some but. Not all but, no but. There's a but how much. It's not the full butt, because, you know, is the mouth a butt? It can't be a full butt. There has to be an end somewhere in there, but there's definitely a butt.
That's right, we asked the hard-hitting questions here on Free Enterprise Afterburn. Anyway, GG's Pancraz, well played through that seed. That was a interesting one to be sure. What did you feel about that Fey March first and foremost?
First impressions were, oh god, no, I never want to come back here. Took a look at the fights, figured I'd peek at least the blue robe. Might find the other red robe in my long travels, and then I see it's all gauntlet. And I say, okay, that's enough of that. We're not even going to peek the other one. We're just going to walk away, maybe save this for the end of the game at like the hour 50 mark. And then there was nothing. Spent like the next 30, 40 minutes checking all the overworld stuff, doing the stuff I could do underground, and it just didn't turn up anywhere to go. My options were either dive the moon at like level 20 or go back and do the Fey March at like level 20, and both of those didn't seem good. But once I had the Lunar Edge, I could steal the Sirens, I could get the Fire 3 on Palom. I had seen the Ruby and the Waterfall at that point, so I knew it was elements, and I figured, okay, I could pop a couple legs, get Palom to his big spells, and just beat up that elements very quickly, so let's go ahead and do that. Why not? I won't have a better chance than right now.
I will say, as mentioned during the actual race, it was really impressive to see just how, like, you took the approach of stealing Sirens, just taking out everyone except Edge, and showing just how fast you can actually steal those Sirens. That was cool. That was really cool.
It helped that I got a good bit of luck. He managed to get like 4 in a row there at one point. It was great.
Yeah,
Especially with
you
the
and Frankie. You and Frankie played a very, very tight match all the way up through that point of the Fey March. And that's where divergence happened. You were able to, with stealing Sirens, getting Palom up to that Fire 3, take out that Elements with little to no worry whatsoever, take out that Alt Gauntlet. Frankie Bones only had Fire 2 on his Palom when he went for the Elements fight, made it for a very much slower fight, and decided to nope out that Alt Gauntlet. And that's pretty much the difference right now in this race, where that Alt Gauntlet check was everything for you.
Who would think doing all gauntlet at Leviathan would save you time in the scene? That's wild to think about.
That hurts the brain.
Definitely. Doesn't help that it's, middle of the night.
So, thinking about that all gauntlet fight, there was a question that came up that a certain Night Mom, I'm sure wherever she may be, would like to know. Why didn't you cast Float?
I didn't need to.
Oh,
I knew
dang.
with my agility setup, the Rune Axe, I could kill all the Conjurers before they'd summon anything, including Arachnes, which I'd need the Float for. So I just, run buffered a whole bunch, put the battle speed down, and killed them before I would ever even need Float. It would have been good as an insurance policy, but I didn't think I needed it.
Well then, yeah, that okay.
Yep, that's a fair enough point, and it worked out in your favor.
Definitely.
But so with this, you are now 3-2. You've staved off eliminations, and you fight to live another day. Oh boy, you live to fight another day. Boy, phrases are hard, y'all. So, what's your thoughts going into next week? Because I don't know if you've seen. I don't know if you've seen some of the 3-2 runners that are absolutely terrifying, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of those 3-2 runners that are saying, Pancraz is very terrifying.
I may be one of those runners.
Yeah, there's a lot of sharks in the 3-2 pool right now, and I imagine a lot of people are thinking that there's one more shark suddenly in that pool. I know that it's going to be rough, and it's going to be very interesting since it's the last week of Swiss. It's the real winner go home, the last winner go home, or else, and all that. So I'm looking forward to it, looking forward to continuing to play, but God, am I a little terrified. I'm really hoping that I can continue playing as well as I have been, playing my game and getting lucky with legend swords at Leviathan spot alt goblins.
I will say there's a specific 3 and 2 runner that has made their comments or their thoughts well known. Xenocat, our tracker, has said, I am not one of those runners, but that's because I've already faced Pankraz.
Oh yeah, they played a hell of a race to avoid getting me again.
Any thoughts about this seed or thoughts about the tournament in general?
Tournament has been a blast so far. Huge shout outs to all the admins for all their hard work behind the scenes, setting everything up, organizing it. I can't even begin to imagine just all the nitty gritty nuts and bolts that go into running something of this magnitude. And for the seed, it was a fun one once I got going, which just took like an hour and 1 minute, give or take. So. Looking forward to playing more, looking forward to continuing in the tournament, and hopefully making brackets next week.
I got one last question because my Lali-Ho commentator can't ask it. Why ditch the Eddie?
I kept an Edward. He's just Edward Geraldine instead of the other one.
Pancakes.
Technicalities will be my armor and will be what I leave you with tonight.
Pancakes. No, sir.
Mostly because he had no role in my team at that point. I needed somebody who could do damage on the moon, and without a spoon, without an arty bow, I had no damage coming from Edward. Whereas I had a Masamune for that edge, and the rest is history.
How dare you?
GG's. GG's once again. It was a well-run seed. It was a clinic with some of those bosses that you put on. I hope you enjoyed. Looking forward to watching this one back. And good luck next week. Please, for the love of God, do not pull me.
Thank you for the luck. Thank you for the GG's. GG's as well to Frankie. And we'll see what happens next week. Thank you all for putting on the show at Dark100. Asuka and Gambit on comms. I will look forward to watching it back and hearing all the lovely insight that you have to offer. Xenocat on tracking. I'm sure that you've kept us all honest. And of course, Scala on the restream. Appreciated as always.
GG's again, Pankraz. It was fantastic to watch you race.
Thank you. You all have a good rest of the night.
Night.
Night. So yes, that was our winner. Moving on to still have a chance to make the brackets in week 6. xPankraz at 3 and 2. As I said, please, whatever type of groveling I need to do at Siren's feet, I will do. Just don't match me up with him, please.
I just want to see a massive race of all you 3 and 2 people and just fighting for like the top couple spots. That would be funny.
See, now I'm having memories of Shades of that Hook 2 race.
It's funny because I don't have to deal with it. I'll restream it. And then just start Darkness Crystal. Go.
Meantime, frankiebones getting through those dolls at the Baron Throne, gets a shot at another Rosa, says, no, it's a little bit too late to seed for you, thank you very much. It's going to be rewarded with that hook. Now, in frankiebones' position here, do you go straight and turn in Rat Tail, Pink Tail? We know in the booth it's not going to be the Legend Sword, but do you go do that chain first, or do you dive into Evelyn and say, okay, is my Cecil here, or did I miss something?
I would almost check the hook first. It's tough because, like you said, we know that the Rat Tail doesn't get Legend Sword, but I would be inclined to check the hook, just because that's what I do. But I also don't do logical things, so it is what it is. Frankie, that doesn't mean listen to me. Services.
We're going to turn in the Rat Tail, Pink Tail first.
Whew. But say, heck. The last thing anyone should do is listen to me.
But Oscar, we like listening to you. That's why we put you on the restream.
I don't know why the heck you guys put me on the restream. I don't know what I'm talking about 100% of the time.
Well, Rat Tail was only an apple, so no luck there. That means that somewhere out there in the, well, no, there's still a barren basement thrown too, but I was going to say somewhere out there's a Demus that holds a chain of pan to tower or Luca key or some sort.
I think now would definitely end. Frankie is picking up the hovercraft, so we will be getting a hook check or a hook character check. I highly doubt if whatever character is here aside from Fu, if it is a Fu, which I believe we know isn't a Fu. But yeah, I don't see this character being taken, but who knows?
Yeah, this is either Cecil or it's a dupe. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
So Eddie.
It could be another Edward. We could pick Edward back up.
He would make a good anchor. I'm just saying. Actually, technically, if it is a Cecil, a level 1 Paladin Cecil would make an okay anchor too.
Yeah, with the Dwarf Axe, give that -3 agility. That's not that bad of an idea.
Survey says,
Hey,
oh,
Cecil.
hi. So there's another go mode.
And then looking at the spoiler log, our winner xPankraz telling us that Demist had a Luca key, which led to the pan. So wherever Demist was, she was holding a chain. We just had no idea where that was.
I'm just going to keep the dream alive and say that it was in Giant.
You know what I would love? Because we still have one dupe out there. If it was a dupe Cecil on the Giant with Demist up there.
I would be here for it, 100%.
I mean, it wouldn't be the hard required Giant that we wanted, but it would at least be something.
I'm always a big fan of the cheeky checks. Oh, well, unfortunately, that Cecil's like, oh, I guess I'm not needed. No. And we're just going to leave him in Ebelin Castle, or Ebelin Caves.
In the meantime, frankiebones showing why Porum is the superior white mage. She learned exit without having to go up top, so able to exit back out the cave, and probably going to head underground, do a couple more eggs just to be safe, and then head to sleep.
Yeah, at this point, especially since Frankie knows that xPankraz is finished, you might as well just make sure everything goes as smoothly as possible. Get the levels, get a little bit extra HP on your Porum and your Palom. They need a little bit of love right now. And then just, yeah, go burr.
If you had to tell her, I'd say just, go to the D machine and be like, hey, let's just go ahead and get all the levels we ever need.
Just ignore the fact that it's vanilla giant. Yeah, just go. It's fine. This is fine, TM.
Yeah, probably going to go and get all the way up to Nuke on Palom. Definitely want Cure 4 on Porum if we don't have it already.
And there's the nuke on our Quack Kid, so microwave mode % is active.
Using the apple that we picked up on that Porum to give her a little bit of extra HP, and I think frankiebones says, nope, we're good, let's go.
At this point, nuke is a good amount of damage, and I was going to say, hey, we have Stardust Rod, but I believe Stardust Rods were in the Cocal shop, which we don't have access to.
That's correct. frankiebones never went back to do the All Gauntlet, never got the Legend Sword, never got access to that Cocal Forge, but in the end, it didn't need it, so no worries, no harm, no foul.
It looks like we'll be doing a little bit of reflect strats with that, a Star Veil on a Palom, pretty good, probably a Berserked, at least one or the other between Yang and that Edge, and I think this will be a pretty straightforward fight for Frankie.
Yeah, that Porum has Cure 4, which is all you need to be able to heal up after a Big Bang. As long as that Porum survives that Big Bang. Probably looking at possibly trying to nerf both big bangs that you'll see, because I don't foresee us seeing more than 2 big bangs in this fight.
Yeah, with the Edge, I believe having or 1 Hanzo Steel for sure. I believe Frankie also did D-Lunar, so has that second Masamune. And then Yang just has levels, so therefore has a little bit of damage. I'd agree with that second. Or the 2 big bangs only thought.
In the meantime, we have the party spreading out. We have us telling Romus that we are going to stop him. We're going to destroy him. We're going to toss the crystal. And for the last time tonight, reveal our wonderful snake friend.
Which is apparently 80% butt. And Solaris in chat saying wanting to ask another question. Don't try to ruin our stream by asking questions. Also, we love you, Solaris. Heart.
I don't know. I'm paying more attention to the chat than I am to Z fight. Where are we at now?
But we are at a snack. What kind of noodle is this? Would this be a danger noodle? Would this be a no probe? It's not a sog champ. It's like a sand champ.
It's more of a yeah, I'll say it's a marshy area. So
Oh, bog champ. It is bog champ. This is perfect.
meantime, that counter nuke hits probably the exact character you want it to hit. So
speaking of Final Fantasy IV doing finely crafted creepy faces, Sleeping Sid and his grill.
there's the first big bang that was nerfed. 454 damage on Forum. Forum with quite a bit of dodges there. Love to see that.
With Yang and Edge getting some pretty sizable damage with the 4 figures there. I believe the highest unnerfed big bang can hit is 1200. So hitting 1000 plus was a little big one.
Yeah, but Paladin's going to be bouncing some quakes off himself, bouncing some nukes off himself for some really high 4-digit numbers. About 6,900, I believe.
I was about to say, which Final Fantasy IV were you playing that we can bounce quakes? Because I want to play that one we can bounce quakes.
But look, in the words of Aliceal, it's late, y'all.
It's okay. Real talk. You're talking to me from the past now. Wait, are you Mountain or Yeah, you're talking to me from the past now. So it's not as late.
Yeah, it's only 11:40 at night. It's fine.
It's 1:40 here. Meanwhile, our friends in Australia are laughing at us openly. Going, it's midday, y'all.
Also, welcome on into Berserk Badger and friends just in time to see the cute snake.
Which we have confirmed is 80% butt.
And if you want to know what we're talking about, definitely check the VOD. It's worth it.
Well, look at its tail. Would you need 3 pant legs to fit over that tail?
Well, you have the 2 sides that go through the pant legs, and the third one goes through the hole in the back just for free movement, maybe?
I mean, are we talking like Kanatsu's back legs that would have to rotate a significant amount to become bipedal Kanatsu? Would those little, like, flanges have to rotate to become normal pants?
Okay, my brain is shut off again.
I'm surprised it's been turned on at any point of doing commentary with me, Gambit.
Oh, this could be bad. That was the Wombo combo Big Bang and the Medio. Only Yang's still alive. He is berserked. This getting really dicey. That Medio is going to hit Yang. Okay, those were the rolls. And this is gonna be close. I need to kill. Oh, we're good.
Ooh, that is it. Our little bog champ has been defeated and frankiebones has finished his race at 1 hour 55 minutes and 36 seconds. Continue, I should say, those GGs in chat for frankiebones, and we'll see if Frankie has not been terrified enough to stay away from the comms booth, or he's gonna come and join us.
That fight got a little harrowing there at the end, but 175 hit points on Yang, 171 more than he actually needed, gets through. And I believe we are joined by frankiebones. GG's on that finish.
Thank you. GG's to Pankraz too on the victory.
So on a panic scale, that combo platter, the Big Bang into Medio, how'd you take that?
I was really nervous. Thank you to Cool Yang for surviving that. I thought there was a chance he could get a miss on the second one, but he didn't, and I thought, oh, it's only 2 more hits, and then the second hit didn't kill Z. I was very nervous, so luckily the third one got it done.
Yeah, that was a close one, but you pulled through it. Defeated Z, had about 171 more hit points than you actually needed, so Yang was fine. What did you feel about this seed overall?
You know, it was a little bit of, it was kind of awkward for me. The beginning was a little awkward. It was funny to me because we just talked about, I was in the Discord earlier this week talking about Val's stats, and I thought I had enough attack power to hit her. I went in that fight twice and did not, so I'm gonna have to look at that again and see what was wrong there. And then again in the mid game, the Fey March was awkward, the grind was awkward. I didn't really know what, you know, I went back and forth on taking Porum, so it was kind of a little bit of indecision for me.
Oh, even with the indecision, you played one heck of a seed. That one kind of threw some real interesting curveballs at you. No real good healing till later on in the seed. Those 2 roses showing up late, just kind of icing on the cake, going, haha, here's your white mages. Too bad you've already done grind and had to work so hard to get to this point.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, go on.
I was just going to say, well played through it all, but yeah, go ahead, Oscar, with your question.
Well, out of curiosity, Frankie, did you watch much of the spoiler log and find out where that legend sword was?
I did. I saw it at the alt gauntlet in Fey March, which I faded. I was gonna go, you know, I faded the Bahamut Cave as well, and so once I got the hook, I was gonna check the character, and then if it wasn't Cecil, I was so glad to see Cecil. I was gonna go back there and give it a shot. Now, I don't know when Pankraz did it. I'm sure he did something cheeky at the beginning, but I decided to fade it and come back later.
Actually,
y'all were in pretty well lockstep up until that Fey March. You both went up to the moon, got the edge. You both went and sold sirens. The thing was, Pankraz did a couple more sirens and got to fire 3 on Palom, and was able to burn up the elements in the Ashura spot a lot faster, and that was really where the divergence came in. You had some trouble with effects. I believe you only had fire 2 at the time.
Yeah, I only had fire 2, and I think Tella got knocked down before he could get his fire 3 off. And the next time around, I think I did a little agility manipulation to get a little better turn order. So I think he got it off the second time, so it worked.
Yeah, it was very well done, changing it up, moving the Tella out of the anchor spot and putting him somewhere where he can get a faster turn and get that fire 3 off. Really helps you out. But yeah, that was pretty much in this race, the point of divergence. And at that point, you cleared everything in the same order Pankraz did, probably a little bit faster on the moon as well, was doing some of your grind on those reuse. Unfortunately, it was just that Legend Sword All Gauntlet was the difference.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I made the choice to fade Cave Bahamut, but I really wish the forgot to equip Hanzo Steel for the first fight. which was a mistake by me. But after that, it went a little bit faster, but it was just, I was bluffing and casting viruses. I had made the decision to take form because I wanted the white mage, and I knew she'd get all the spells I needed after one fight. But I was really missing Tella, I think, in that fight too, because I think he could cast Weak and make that a little bit faster.
And honestly, in my opinion, baiting that Alt Gauntlet fight, I don't think anyone will blame you for that, because Alt Gauntlet anywhere is annoying, so...
Yeah, I didn't want anything to do with it.
Same.
I didn't want anything to do with it, and everything's it's just not a good spot for that.
You tell me you didn't even think about doing a clapper grind?
No. The rare clapper grind I did not think about doing.
Well, unfortunately, with the loss, it does put you at 2 and 3, which mathematically eliminates you from advancement. Do hope to see you next week. Still take on one more opponent, because you're a great racer. Fun to watch. Do you have any other final thoughts on the tournament as a whole?
Yeah, the tournament's been great. It's been a lot of fun. I mean, I managed to get 2 wins, which is one more than the last tournament I entered, so I'm happy with that. I'm definitely going to play next week and see if I can get one more, and just work on getting better. And xPankraz is a great runner, so if I'm neck and neck with him, an hour into the seed, I'm happy with that. I took some wipes, and that's part of it, but I played as aggressive as I could, so I'm happy with the way I played today.
Yeah, and pretty much your entire race will look fantastic. I mean, to so many people that are watching, myself included, it's just amazing to see how fast that all of you can run these seeds and just do it so well. So keep your head high, and we look forward to seeing you have some fun next week. So again, any last words about this seed or anything in general?
Just thank you to Scala, Cat, Gambit, and Yuasuka for doing the restream and running the tournament. You guys are great, and staying up late for this race with us and putting it on is great. So thank you very much.
Thank you, frankiebones. GG's once more.
Yes, GG's.
Thank you.
With that, we're done. Heck!
It's been a fun evening. I can still say evening because it's still 12 minutes to midnight for me. So I'm not quite ready to go into Saturday yet. But we've got a ton of matches coming up Saturday day for all of your viewing pleasure.
I like how you said Saturday day, because you're not. I like how you said Saturday day.
All right. You ready? I'm gonna speed run these matches. You ready?
Okay, yeah.
All right, we've got Infinius and Night Dew, 8 a.m. Eastern Time, here on the Free Enterprise channel for your early morning racing. You've got Euphoric Limit and Twisted Flax will be a Khadgar at 11 a.m. Eastern. Y2 Sky and Microcorgs here on the Free Enterprise channel again at 1 p.m. Eastern. Gaming with a Wraith versus Zlade at 2 p.m. on Khadgar. Also at 2 p.m. on Khadgar, we've got Bursik Mazda versus Actual JP and Commander Leonhardt and Rex Banner. Those will all be Khadgar races. 4 p.m. Eastern, Kind of Nerdy Housewife takes on Penguinator. That'll be on a Randomania to be determined. At 8 p.m., we've got 2 races. Golden Shocker versus Possible Morpheus will be a Khadgar race, with Lord Bob Bree and Scratch Dragon being on Randomania of some sort to be determined. And last but not least, at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, McBain versus Silvire, right back here on the Free Enterprise channel. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 races tomorrow for a full jam-packed day of Free Enterprise.
I went to go get a glass of water and missed all that. Could you repeat that?
I'm giving you a look.
Hi, Gambit. Anywho, yeah, that's a lot of Free Enterprise races. And yeah, so you have plenty to choose from. All of these are fantastic runners, and it is going to be amazing later today / tomorrow, depending on where you are.
Yes, it is a full jam-packed day, as I said, and we're just going to leave it at that, I think. Don't really have anyone to send you to because it's late, y'all. but we'll see you back here in 8 hours. How about that?
Yeah, and the caffeine. It's not even 8 hours.
Oh dear God, my time zones are weird.
Free enterprise never ends. But right now, all of you, go to bed. Seriously, I'm looking at you. Don't give me that look. Go to bed. Get cozy. Show some cozy emotes. Get some sleep. Put away the phone and controller. Cuddle up with the pup, in my case. And yeah, get some sleep. It's late, y'all. Until next time. Or what?
One last shout out to our restream team: Scala Kitty on the restream, Xenocat going to bed, doing the tracking, Oscar for commentating with me, and now we'll be quiet and let you go to sleep. Good night, everybody.
Good night, Neverland.